Yes, we can hear you now. All right.
Oh, that's because I didn't say anything.
Well, this is true. Hangout is live. Sean King will not be joining us today. He said he couldn't make it. We are here. It is Monday, January 26th. My plan is to keep this meeting short. There isn't a whole lot to say other than, it's voting will basically be the nominees voting for themselves at this point, unfortunately.
Plus a couple, but yeah.
Plus a couple, yeah. Because John said he's basically pulled out on his nomination, and
not me, but John Barrett.
John Barrett, exactly. And then Eric mentioned he was interested and submitted, but he doesn't own any Bitcoin. And when I talked to him yesterday, he's like, "Let me talk to you about it tomorrow." So I will ping him to see if he's still interested. But I think that would leave us, even if he is interested, I think that would leave us 6 people for 6 spots. So we may only fill 5, which, is the limit.
Wait, if he's interested, doesn't it? If he's interested, does that make it 5? Who am I forgetting? You're right,
as well.
John. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right.
So we would have, if he's interested, we'd have 6.
Gotcha.
So anyway, it's funny. It's a little bit discouraging to think, we've worked the last few months to set up an organization that doesn't have very many people and hasn't done a whole lot yet. But hey, here's to small beginnings, right, guys?
I'm not at all discouraged. In fact, the more and more that every day that goes by, I see the developments that are happening, and I am. Thanks, baby. I am. I'm
Wait,
constantly.
Does your shirt say "Shut up and take my Bitcoin"? I just see "Shut up." That's the only part I see.
It does.
Yes. I love that. All right, so I'm sorry I cut you off. You're saying you every day get more encouraged?
Yeah, I am getting more encouraged. I think that it's completely evident Bitcoin's anti-fragility. That is just constant. I mean, I don't know if you notice. I'm not a big fan of Coinbase. Yeah, I mean, you guys know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But if you look at just what they've done here in the last 2 weeks, the massive amount of money that they've raised in funding, the new Coinbase exchange that just launched today. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
It's probably the reason why you don't like Coinbase right now, because all the stuff that we were seeing, they weren't focusing on. They were doing this, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, you having a problem? We don't really care right now because we got bigger fish to fry."
Well, talking to their stock exchange, yeah.
Well, I'm still not a huge fan. I think that some of the walled gardens that they've created are not necessarily a good thing. But I think that the movement, the momentum, I think is just evident of the This is 1 year later. What's going to happen a year from now?
Right. Yeah, I think I'm right with you. I think that it's true that our organization has kind of grown very slowly, and a lot of the energy has died down. But a lot of that's related to the price. And what we've seen is that even though the price has plummeted, the innovation in Bitcoin hasn't stopped. It's steadily just plodded forward.
Oh yeah, no. To be clear, I'm more excited about Bitcoin than I'm always getting more and more excited about Bitcoin. I'm more specifically relating to our actual influence in Tennessee as an organization. We all have great aspirations and expectations, and that's awesome. I don't want to change those, and I do believe that we're going to play a significant role. Like I was noticing, for example, the exchange isn't supported in Tennessee on Coinbase. I tried to sign up. It's like not in your state yet. So, as an organization, we could reach out to them. As an organization, we could talk to the NTC and say, hey, do you want to do some lobbying for us if there's some regulation issues for why they have not here? There's a lot of things we could do. Like NTC actually just got written up in USA Today for their NTC awards, which is pretty cool. And Brian Huddleston, their crew, they're huge fans of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think I see our role right now as laying the groundwork for this organization so that the next time something big happens in the public eye, so like Coinbase turning into a publicly, a one-to-one exchange, like, okay, that's really exciting to like you and me and the other Bitcoin nerds. But like, when the price triples or some country adopts or something like that, we're gonna have all of a sudden a mass influx of people that are interested in Bitcoin that have no idea where to go. And I think our role is just to prepare for that day.
Yeah,
right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, again, I don't have a whole lot to talk about. Just an update. I just want to give an update on the nominations voting status. I shared a draft of what the ballot would be. I actually reviewed the bylaws, and it said the ballot require the quorum number listed, so it's like 5 people. It's 50% as far as I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
just above 50, I think, yeah, or 50 above.
50% is a quorum, above 50, and so. We have 9 people that I know, Sean, unless that's changed. Also, too, Sean, I emailed you, but I want a clarification. Have you paid as well your actual dues? Because I think last meeting it was you and John, so you're good?
Mm-hmm.
If we could somehow publish that, that would be helpful. So, we still need to figure that out, but just myself as a member, I'd like to know that the people who are members, somehow there's a way to be like, yeah, I can see. I know Coinbase makes that difficult, and that's a frustration.
Well, I was poking around in Coinbase today, and they actually have some pretty detailed information that's now available that didn't used to be there.
Oh, cool.
And so, like, for instance, I can pull up the hash of, or not the hash, but the transaction ID of a payment now. And let's see here.
That's fantastic.
They do a receipt, so you can click on receipt, and then you can view it in the blockchain. So it's got
awesome.
It's got like a little blockchain explorer kind of deal that pulls up the transaction ID, shows the confirmations, output addresses, input addresses.
John's laughing, and that was my happy dance. That was my blockchain happy dance, dude. If we could get that on the website, it's pseudo anonymous, but then as a member, I can go in and be like, boom, there's my transaction. I know that I'm a member, and if anyone doubts my membership or there's any questions, I can say, hey, look, I can sign a message with that private key. I think that would be really cool. So like the membership page could literally be just a bunch of transactions. Like that would be sweet to me.
So. Okay, yeah, we'll have to kind of figure out like the UI on that.
It's not a priority. It's just one of those things that me as well. I'm trying to figure out like who are our members? It's right now it's a database which is hackable by anybody. That has access. As far as the member whatever thing.
Yep. So, member mouse.
Yeah, member. So as we expand our action teams and we have a whole bunch more people that get access to that potentially. I don't want to disvalue the people who've paid money to be a member by someone else being like, hey, I'm a member too, look, I have access, and it's like, well, wait, huh? So I'd love to be able to say our list is 10 people that are premium members, and our transaction list shows 10 people,
Yeah, that's not entirely possible because in order for it to be a paid membership in MemberMouse, it's going to show transactional data, and it looks for that. If somebody so if somebody was to just add an account, it would show up as a comped account, a non-paid for, set account.
Awesome. Very cool. I wasn't sure of that because I haven't logged into MemberMouse yet myself to see the interface, so I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I think that you can even, let me see here, I'm just going to pull up mine just to look at it. We have 29 total registered members. 10 of which are paid premium members.
Okay, so 10 now.
10, yeah, I thought it was 9. Let me double check what I have here because I have.
It is now 10.
Okay, yeah. Can you send me that additional one?
Well, did the 9 include Sean? Because if not, he's the 10th.
I have Sean. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I do have Sean Roy in here. That's why I was confused because last time we talked, you weren't a member, but it says premium membership annual here, so that's why I'm confused. I'm going based on the email sent January 19th.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what is interesting here is I don't see, it looks like the date that you joined is the date that your account was created, not the date that you paid for your membership.
Right.
Like I see Matt Wilson was included in here, but I don't see, it doesn't say premium membership annual next to his name.
Well, he's a lifetime member.
Matt Wilson is a premium membership lifetime member.
Interesting. All right, yeah, it just didn't show up in the, probably just, it's a copy-paste thing. That's all it is. It's copy-paste. So who's the additional member?
Let me see. We've got myself, Eric Johnson, Bill Hart, Rory Smith, John Meese, Luke Stokes, Sean King, Matt Wilson, Cindy King, and James
John
Brown.
Meese. John Meese was the new one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you weren't because that's right. You added yourself after the meeting, or during the meeting actually. All right, cool. So I've got everything I need. I will go ahead and talk to Eric real quick and see what his status is if he wants to add himself last minute here, and then I would just send that nomination out.
Okay. And then one other thing, I know Luke, did you add the action items from last week to Wunderlist?
No, I'm sorry, I did not. Thank you.
Okay,
for
cool.
that up.
Yeah. I just want to make sure because I looked in there. I thought there was some stuff I was supposed to do, and then I looked in there and saw I didn't see it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I mean, that I can do that as the secretary, but I kind of feel like there's really no reason. It's like if we are the ones putting that into our own Wunderlist, it would probably be a little more beneficial for us as a reminder to be like, oh yeah, I need to do this. I mean, again, I'm fine to do it. I don't always get to it, as you just have seen. Yeah, because that list in Wunderlist is looking kind of small. I'm happy to do it. Yeah, in this case, I definitely missed it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're proposing, like, we change the system, that's fine. I mean, like, we can talk about changing the system. It's just, I usually just check the task list periodically to see whatever's been assigned to me and work on that. So
gotcha.
if I need to add those myself, I can. I just want to communicate that.
Yeah, well, sometimes they're in there already, and sometimes they're not. So that's why it's like this time I totally forgot about it. But sometimes, actually, the last couple times I've seen a few in there, I was going to add them, and then I saw that I didn't want to create a duplicate. They're already there. So, I mean, me personally, I'd prefer that, if you've got an action item, you go use whatever tool you like to use. I think Wunderlist is the tool we all agreed on, but, whatever you need to do to make sure it gets done. But yeah, that's probably a good idea just from a secretary minutes perspective. If I'm saying, hey, these are our action items, I will put them in Wunderlist or at least verify they're in there and or checked off in there. So there we have a record to say, okay, Wunderlist tells us this was done or not.
Okay, right.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay.
So yeah, I will add a to-do list for myself to go through the last few meetings and double check the to-do items and see if they are in there.
Okay.
I'll probably just send out an email as a reminder for things that need to be done.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I don't have anything else to discuss in this meeting unless you guys do.
The only thing that I kind of wanted to mention it verbally so it kind of sticks in our brains is something we should kind of collectively, I guess, be working on is looking for some grant money. If we could get $50,000 from the state of Tennessee or a federal grant or something, because I was looking at what grants are available, and we qualify for a whole bunch of them.
Right, but I think
NTC just got $800K or something like that.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Okay, I guess my question would be what's our goal? Because I usually want to start with okay, what are we trying to accomplish, and then look for funding rather than look for funding and accomplish things based off of that.
Well, that was it. Was that I was talking about what we qualified for was there were grants that were out there that were already specifically targeted towards the action teams or the goals that we've already set forward. For one was educating, public education for. I can't remember exactly what it was, and this was a while back. It was just a few months ago. But it was every single one. I was I made a list, and I was that's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. And there was money available for it. So,
yeah,
it's an interesting. I look at it as an interesting chicken and egg problem because it's part of me wants to have a stronger base of membership, people who are passionate and willing to do this basically for free as volunteers, really seriously dedicated people that are I want to invest in this. Then when I have that, I feel in a much better position to be okay, sweet, here's some money to actually help you do it. I think when you flip that on its head and you get the money first, and then you're hey, who can do this? We've got money to pay you. I mean, that can work too, but I guess I feel we're going to get a different caliber person. We're going to get someone who's just in it for the money. As soon as the money runs out, they're done. I don't know. I'm personally hoping for a pretty passionate base of people that is going to do this for the long term.
Right. And I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I mean that's just my personal feeling, but I also, like I said, I do believe it's a chicken and egg problem because I do think there are things that need to have professionals who need to get paid and things need to be done well.
Yeah, and I think that similarly, with coming back to a recurring theme of ours is avoiding what the Bitcoin Foundation has done wrong. They, got a massive amount of money right away before their leadership and their base was really established. And what happened was some people got involved because of the money, and that was, or at least that was the perception. The public perception was some people got involved exclusively because of the money, and then the people vying for the board seats were primarily interested in getting access to the millions of dollars in funding that the Bitcoin Foundation had access to. So I think, if the fact that we've only got 10 paying members says to me that if we raise $500,000 through grants, well, we'd have a lot more than 10 paying members very quickly, but I don't think that all 10 of them would have the same interests in line. And I'm afraid that, you could easily overwhelm the number of members we have with people who are just in it for the money.
It's a really good point, John.
Thank you. I think grants are a great idea. I think that's definitely something we should pursue. I think right now our focus is, finish the election, get our new board set up, even though we'll probably be on the new board anyways. But and then start talking about our goals for the coming year, and then go, because once we have a goal, we can get grants we can write grant proposals that are specific to our agenda item. So it's not just like random money, because that's where confusion comes in.
It sounds like, Sean, you've done that to a point, and so I'm excited about it. I don't want to discourage you at all. I think that's fantastic. The fact that once we get to that point where we have some people, like if we even get 5 people that are interested in really filling out an action team and being solid with that action team, then to me, boom, let's do it. Let's pull the trigger on that specific grant for that group of people. Absolutely, I think that's fantastic. I just don't know that we even have anybody. Any of those teams really fleshed out with passionate people that are going to make stuff happen at this point, and that's just my feeling. I feel like there's been a big dissipation as far as excitement in the community we have. The community is very, very small at this point. That may just be my perception, but that's my perception.
But I know, even if, for example, even if we had funding right now for something that for some project we could all work on together as a board, like putting on seminars and stuff like that, pretty much no matter how much money or compensation we could bring in, I can't fit the time in right now, so
well said. And I wouldn't want to use that money to pay myself anyway. I'd want that money to go to a better use for the organization. So.
Exactly. So I think those are my fears. I think grant money is awesome if we can get it. I guess my hesitations are just that, well, what are we going to use it for, and who's going to be the one doing the work? Because we're already swamped with what we have on our plate.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem, and that's probably my number one concern for any of this is that there's times that I have the ability to block out and spend several days working on something, but then there's times where I don't got 5 minutes for 2 weeks.
Right. Well, in the next month, I'm hiring a virtual assistant for my business, and from what I learned through that experience, I'm hoping maybe that's something we can discuss for the for the organization in the next few months. Is that something that we want to do to help scale the organization? What we're still able to provide our input, but with less time.
I think the focus. John, you'll set the direction on this for sure, but I think the focus is after this, starting next month, once the elections are done, just really shoring up our base, figuring out who are the people that are excited about this, what are the next steps as far as education, as far as I think supporting the local user groups even here in Nashville, but also in other areas in Tennessee. That should be probably, in my mind, one of our primary focuses, because once you get those communities going strong, those communities are going to have great ideas of their own that are part of our mission statement. Those communities are going to need educational programs for users and businesses. Those communities are going to have businesses that want to be involved in some kind of Bitcoin center. Those communities are going to have entrepreneurs that need support. So I think that to me makes the most sense. And I think that, I know me personally, I've been distracted with this other stuff to even focus on the local community. And we've got, I think right now, 2 great talks in the just here in Nashville. Eric is he's sent me the slides. I think they're great as far as talking about money markets. And then Rayan has a great talk about how to make money with Bitcoin as a Bitcoin trader. And so we've got some great talks. We just haven't been able to support that well, So hopefully we can get on that. And a virtual assistant could help with that too as well, John.
Yeah.
Make it that those local meetups are solid.
They could help with email marketing. They could help with even small tedious things like typing, adding our action points to Wunderlist. That's totally something that a virtual assistant could do.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something we should talk about. But first thing first, let's finish the election, and then we'll talk about our board moving forward next month.
Sounds good. Any other points of conversation or stuff you guys want to discuss?
Oh, I heard from Priya as far as the Nashville Bitcoin meetup goes, and February 9th is available. So not the first Monday night, but the second Monday night in February is available. So I'm going to fill out a waiver and get that set up for our next meeting. And we'll have Eric O'Reilly to speak on financial markets and such.
Cool.
So yeah, just a quick update.
Sounds good.
All right. Anything else?
Nothing from me. Anything from you, Sean?
I'm good.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Adios.
Cool.
Peace.